This is just my personal experience after using the FreeStyle for less than a week. Hey guys, Leia here, filming a new video. I just went to Walgreens and I got a FreeStyle Libre. Let me make sure that I'm covering up. Okay, went to my doctor's office on Wednesday or Thursday last week, and I talked to her about wanting to get a glucose monitor because I check my sugar a lot. I don't check my sugar nearly as much as I would like to, but I don't know if you can see it, but there are teeny tiny dots all over my fingers from having checked my blood sugar a million times a day. So instead, I talked to my doctor and I asked her if she would send me a prescription for a continuous glucose monitor. She sent the orders to diabetes education in my hospital system, and they recommended the FreeStyle Libre 3. These sensors are $75 a month. So I figured what I would do is unbox it, show it to you guys, and then I'm going to have to turn the camera off because, again, I'm filming on my phone. And in order to set this up, I need to use my phone because the way these work is that this one will go on the back of my arm, and it will take glucose readings. I'm not sure if it's every minute or if it's just continuously or how that happens, but it will take glucose readings and send it to my smartphone, and then there's an alarm that goes off when my blood sugar is too high and when it's too low. I'm told that some people actually turn their Bluetooth off at night so that it doesn't wake them up. I may have to do that tonight because I think my blood sugar is still pretty high. So yeah, so first, to open it, you pull this tab, and then when you open it, it has this, and then it has a little booklet. So let me see. Okay, so it says how to apply. So it says to wash with plain soap and then dry and then clean with an alcohol wipe. So I'm going to grab some hand sanitizer and clean the back of my arm. So I guess there's a little seal here. There's a little seal. So I need to untwist that. And then, oh, there it is. Ooh. That is a huge needle. I'm sorry. That is a huge needle. Oh, it worked. That actually didn't hurt. There it is. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this off and see if I can connect it with my phone. Okay guys, so for the time being I have it set up. So I did, hit my arm with it. I kind of freaked out because there was like not a lot of blood, but like probably 4 times the amount of blood that you would get if you stick your finger, just like coming out of my arm for a minute. And I was like, oh god, what the heck? And I didn't even realize it until I was using my phone to try to scan the thing. And, like, I looked at my phone and there was blood on my phone. And I'm like, what the heck? And I looked over at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, there's blood. So, I am surprised that, number one, it didn't really hurt going in. Like, I thought it would because of how big the needle was, but it didn't hurt. And I was kind of nervous coming home of like, oh, what if I feel it all the time? Like, I'm autistic. Is it going to be one of those things that I don't get used to? And I can honestly say I don't even feel it. I don't even, like, I know it's there, but I don't even, like, really know that it's there. It hurts a little bit. I think that's because I was, like, messing with it to clean the blood up. So, I have to wait 1 hour for glucose readings to come in, and then we'll kind of see where it goes from there. I'll see you guys in an hour. Hey guys, so it's a couple of days later, and I've been using the FreeStyle Libre for about a week now, so I want to tell you what I think of it. First of all, I know that I was very concerned about feeling it, but I cannot feel it, and I'm someone that I normally, like, I can feel the sleeves, I can feel, like, the material of the dress, like, I'm someone that is, now, I'm not as sensitive as some people that have autism, so I would caution that people who are more sensitive to tags and clothing textures should probably be aware that they may feel it, but for me, I personally don't feel it. I really like the control that it gives me because I know what my blood sugar is doing. I don't have to drag my meter or guess or be like, oh, I wonder what this is going to do to my blood sugar. Last night I was out with friends celebrating my birthday, and I just pulled out my phone and looked and said, oh, this is where my blood sugar is at, this is what I can do. And I really appreciate that feature, which is kind of the whole point. Now, this is one that you do not have to scan. It just automatically takes the readings for you, which I think is really nice. Now, I don't know how much of a hassle it would be to scan it, but I think that if you were scanning it, you would miss out on what is probably the biggest benefit of this, which is that it's always taking measurements, and so you can see your patterns. Like, I have been able to see that contrary to what I believed, which I believed that my blood sugar was lower in the evenings and generally stayed lower in the evenings and was higher during the day, I found that that's actually not true. I have found that my blood sugar is actually lower during the day and higher at night, which is something that I'm going to talk to my endocrinologist about when I see her in a few weeks. The other thing that's really nice is that I initially thought that you would have to have your phone on in order for it to work. However, I've learned that that's not the case. I was somewhere this week where my phone was off for the majority of a 2-day period. And what I learned is that even though my phone was off, my FreeStyle was still taking readings, which was really nice because then when I got my phone back, I was able to look and see what it was that was going on. Which, like I said, it was just super nice. It's making it to where I can see trends because I essentially lost access to my phone about 12 hours after I put it in. The other thing about it is that it can get wet, but I was very concerned that getting it wet was going to make it fall off. It did not. Now, the edges are starting to come up a little bit, and I think that I'm going to go to the pharmacist and ask her if she has any suggestions as to how to make sure that it does stay on for the entire 14 days, and if it doesn't, then I'll probably update you guys in the very near future. I'm planning on doing a health update soon, so I'll update you guys if it stays on or not. The biggest con to me is that it does seem like my phone battery is running down more quickly. And I think that's because the FreeStyle Libre is always on in the background. I have not tried to dismiss it the normal way, but the app always has a notification that stays in your notifications. It's a little bit annoying for me because I have both the KCAU weather app and the FreeStyle Libre app, and I understand why they're both the way they are, where it's a constant notification. It's kind of nice to constantly know the weather. It's kind of nice to just be able to tap. But that does mean that I can only get one more notification before my notifications start getting buried in the lock screen, which is, like I said, a little bit annoying. I would imagine it would be very annoying if you're someone that has one of those budget phones that you're kind of always running close to full space. Like, I know that I was always running close to full space when I had a budget phone. So I think that that could be a limitation for some people, could be kind of an annoyance. But now, the last thing is the price. Now, I haven't made a video about this yet, but I've recently went back to working at the Hawkeye. Don't worry, I still work at KCAU. That is my main full-time job, but I do work at the Hawkeye writing 1 to 2 articles a week for the Hawkeye. And personally, I think that between the cost of my insulin, the cost of my other medicines, and the cost of the FreeStyle, I think that that would be difficult for me, if not for the fact that I work for the Hawkeye, and I'll just say, I make enough money that if I do, so I have a maximum number of articles in my contract, and a minimum number of articles in my contract, and if I just write the minimum number of articles, it covers basically all of my medicine. So, and including this, so it covers the FreeStyle, it covers the insulin that I need, and it covers some of my other medications. So for me, the price isn't an issue, but I know that for some people, you know, the cheapest that these FreeStyles come is $75 for 2, and I know that that's quite pricey. Like, I use the Rely On meter, and even if I'm checking my blood sugar 7 times a day, that's still only about that's still only $36. So I can check my blood sugar 7 times a day and pay half the price. But for me, I think it's worth it because I like that I constantly have all this data that I can check. I can see patterns. Like, one thing is that I've learned that whenever I have a big spike or a big dip in the middle of the night, that it wakes me up. And that's good information to know. And there's other little things too, like, because, and I'm going to talk about this in an upcoming video, but because I have gastroparesis, I can really track when I do take the gastroparesis medicine and when I don't, because when I don't take the gastroparesis medicine, I can visibly see what I've suspected for a long time, which is that it takes a lot longer for my blood sugar to start going up after I eat, because it's taking longer for my stomach to process foods. So overall, FreeStyle Libre, my opinion is that it's a net positive, but really, if you want to get this, talk to your doctor, talk to your endocrinologist, and think about whether or not you can afford to spend $75 to get better control. I think that there is a slight difference for someone that has kind of unstable diabetes, like I do right now, and someone who has stable type 2 diabetes that's on metformin. Personally, if I had stable type 2 diabetes on metformin, I didn't take insulin, and I had never had a history of hyperglycemic episodes or hypoglycemic episodes, I probably would think that it's not worth it. But for me, especially right now, my blood sugar is very unstable. I'm on insulin, which means that I'm prone to lows, and I can have an alarm on my phone instead of waiting until I feel bad and then guessing and checking or hoping. By guessing and checking, I mean if I don't have my meter and I feel low, eating something because I feel low, and then that actually spikes my blood sugar because it wasn't actually that I felt low. I like that there are alarms. I like it. But like I said, I think that if you have stable type 2 diabetes on metformin, you're probably not going to see the type of benefit that justifies spending $75 a month. And that is just kind of my honest feelings. Your doctor may tell you something different, your endocrinologist may tell you something different, and you should definitely listen to them. This is just my personal experience after using the FreeStyle for less than a week, for using it for 6 days. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully next week I'm going to have part 2 of living with eating disorders. I'm really appreciative of how well the last video did. It got like almost 60 views as of when I checked this morning, and that's really good. That's a lot more than average for me. My average is normally about 30. So yeah, I'm going to keep making those videos. I'm going to be touching on atypical anorexia and binge eating disorder in the video. So yeah, I think that you guys will enjoy it, and I will talk to you guys then. Bye.